Hello and welcome to Game 1 of the 1986 World Series as played out by the NBC Game of the Week all year long in the Stratomatic computer, and then payoff pitch and inside pitch for the different league championship series. We're back now to inside pitch. We are at the Astrodome in Houston, Game 1 between the California Angels and the Houston Astros. Some rearranging on starting rotations for both teams. Originally was going to do Mike Scott to pitch Game 1, but since we're using a four-man rotation, it doesn't really matter what game Mike Scott starts. He could use an extra day of rest, so Mike Scott will actually start Game 2. Game 1 starter will be Jim DeShaies. He did not pitch in the NLCS, so he's definitely raring and ready to go. He will start Game 1. Mike Scott will start Game 2. Nolan Ryan will start Game 3. And Bob Nepper Game 4 before we go back and do it all again, where DeShaies is in Game 5. And then for the Game 6 and 7 are necessary back in Houston, you would have Mike Scott and Nolan Ryan. So the Astros like having that option toward the end. For the California Angels, Don Sutton will get the start here in Game 1. And in Game 2, it'll be right-hander and I'm drawing a blank on his name off the top of my head. I apologize for that. Candelaria starts Game 3. Mike Witt starts Game 3. Candelaria starts Game 4. And then we're back to Sutton for potential Game 5. And then I want to say Ron Romanek, but I don't think that's right. Let me get the Angel card so I can not seem so foolish for not knowing the starting pitcher's name. It's not Ron Romanek. It is actually Kurt McCaskill. So it's going to be Sutton in Game 1, Kurt McCaskill in Game 2, Mike Witt Game 3, Candelaria Game 4. Game 5 would be Sutton. Game 6 would be back to McCaskill. And Game 7 would be Mike Witt if it gets to that. So those are your two starters here in Game 1 of the World Series at the Astrodome. Let's go through the starting lineups and the reserves and whatnot. They're over here on the board, but just for pomp and circumstance purposes. Leading off and playing center field will be Gary Pettis. Batting second in left field, Brian Downing. Hitting third at first base, Wally Joyner. Batting cleanup in right field, coming off a great American League Championship Series, that is George Hendrick. Hitting fifth, playing second base, Bobby Grich. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Doug DeShaies. Batting seventh and doing the catching, Bob Boone. Batting eighth, shortstop Dick Schofield. And batting ninth, using the pitcher hitting card from 1969, is going to be Don Sutton. And of course, this is the Angels' first go at it on inside pitch. You saw him in payoff pitch for those 6 games against the Yankees. On the bench for the Yankees, and not liking it, Reggie Jackson. Against the lefty DeShaies, they sit Jackson. We got another lefty, Howell, Rupert Jones, backup catcher Jerry Narron, second baseman Rob Wilfong. Those are all the lefties. Switch hitter Devon White and right-hand hitter Rick Burleson. That's the complete bench for the Angels. For the Angels bullpen, 3 right-handers and 3 left-handers. Doug Corbett, Donnie Moore, and Vern Rule from the right side. Chuck Finley, Terry Forster, and Gary Lucas from the left side. So those are the rosters, and the other 4 starters I mentioned, McCaskill, Witt, and Candelaria make up the 25-man roster for the Angels for this World Series. For the Astros on their bench, they have 4 right-handers, Phil Garner, Davey Lopes, Jim Pankovitz, and Dickie Thon. 3 left-handers, Dan Dreesen, John Miserock, and Terry Poole. In their bullpen, they have 5 right-handers and 1 lefty. Larry Anderson, Danny Darwin, Charlie Kerfeld, Aurelio Lopez, and Dave Smith from the right side, Jeff Calhoun from the left side. One caveat, they do have an extra player in their bullpen for this game. Since he's not starting until Game 4, Bob Nepper does have a relief rating. So Bob Nepper will be available in the bullpen to give him a second lefty if they need it. So that will give Houston the second lefty, whereas the Angels already have their 3 lefties and 3 righties. So don't really think they need to bring in one of their, game 4 or 5 starters. McCaskill has relief rating, but Witt and Candelaria do not. So McCaskill starts game 2, so he cannot relieve in game 1. He could maybe relieve in game 7 if it got to that, but we're trying to get everything lined up here for game 1. Got the Houston Astro colored dice, the white and the orange with the blue. And let's see, is there anything else out there? I don't think there's anything else popping circumstance-wise that is needed. I do have the score sheet over here. It's not really a score sheet. I am using the fan version of the Bob Carpenter scorebook, where I have the Angels on this side and the Astros on this side. So I'll keep score along. I already got the ratings in there, fielding ratings and BR ratings for all the players. So I think we are set to go. Let me check the view up top here through the phone, make sure everything is showing up and not getting too cut off. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. That's about as good as I can get it right there, I think. Push this out this way till somebody gets on third base so that the whole dice tray fits in. All right, I think we are ready to go officially. Game 1. Both teams coming in red hot. Of course, the Astros swept the Mets in surprising fashion. And then the Angels just took the Yankees to the woodsheds in games 4, 5, and 6. So they are definitely on a roll as well. So something's got to give. And right now, that's something remains to be seen what's going to give. First time, like I said, for the Angels to be on inside pitch. They'd played those 6 games on payoff pitch, so getting the first look at the Angels on the inside pitch cards for a while. And Gary Pettis, your leadoff man, ready to go. And this World Series is underway. 2-6 is a walk plus, or a super walk as it's called. Pettis walks as an 8 against lefties. Stadium takes away 1, makes him a 7, but the super lefty makes it a 17. 15 fits. Gary Pettis draws the walk. So not a good start for DeShaies to walk Gary Pettis. See if Pettis can get a jump. His attempt is a 7. Plus 1's an 8. He does get the jump. So Pettis steals at a 16. Minus 1 from DeShaies is a 15. And the catcher arm for Alan Ashby is a plus 1, which makes him back to a 16. So 1 to 16 for Pettis to steal it. And he does. So Gary Pettis, stolen base. And the Angels picking up where they left off against the Yankees. Remember, the Astros had to sit and wait for the Angels series to get done. So Angels coming in with some momentum. Astros may be coming a little cold. We shall see. Strategy roll for DeShaies. Nothing going on. So here's Brian Downing, number 2 hitter. DeShaies 5-4, and that's another walk chance. That's a 12. It's enough to walk him. He walks at a 20, so back-to-back walks. And DeShaies in a little bit of trouble early on. Houston fans starting to grumble. Here is Wally Joyner, and they're thinking maybe this is why DeShaies was not included in the NLCS. So here's Joyner, strategy roll first. 3, nothing happening. Well, they could send they're not going to send Pettis. Here's Joyner. 2-1 is a range play. They are halfway in the infield, so all the infielders' ranges are dropped by 1 if it goes to an infielder. Go to Joyner. 3-2. That's a ground ball to first. So the ground ball is to Glenn Davis, but with the infield halfway, he loses 1 on his range. He is a 4, but now he drops to a 3. So it's a 1-3 for Glenn Davis to make the play. He can make the play. Now the question is it going to be a double play chance or not? Wally Joyner hits into a double play at a 2, but that's a -1 from DeShaies to drop it to a 1. Since it's hit to the first baseman, the infield halfway makes no effect, so it's still a 1. And now we look at the pivot, Craig Reynolds, who is a 0. So this has to be a 1 for a double play. It is not. It's a 2. They will get the force, though, because Downey only runs at a 2, so they will get the force play. Joyner will reach. It'll go 3-6 on the fielder's choice. 3-6. Pettis does take third base. But now there's one out with runners on the corners for the red-hot George Hendrick. Strategy roll for DeShaies. Infield is playing for the double play. They don't want to give up a big inning if they can avoid it. Figuring their offense can do something against Sutton. DeShaies, 3-2, strikeout chance, 18 is too high to get Hendrick. George Hendrick will bat. 4-1, he's going to ground it to short, possible double play. He's a 3, but again, the -1 there makes him a 2, but halfway brings it back to a 3. The pivot, Bill Doran, is a 0. So it's going to be a 1-3 for a double play that ends the inning. Anything else, the run's going to score. It's a 6, actually going to be runner's advance. So Joyner will take second. Pettis will score, and the Angels grab a 1-0 lead. And that out's going to go 6-3, as the only play Reynolds had was to throw to first base. So 2 down, but a run is in. And here is Bobby Grich. Bobby Grich. Strategy roll. 1, so Joyner could try to steal, but we're not going to do that. So we'll go ahead and start the pitching. 2-4, and against a right-hander Grich, that's a strikeout chance. 7 against the lefty, he strikes out as an 8. Stadium adds 1, so it is a strikeout, and Grich is gone on strikes to end the inning. But the Angels pick up a run here in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. Angels 1 and the Astros coming to bat. And Don Sutton, who had a rough ALCS in his one game that he pitched, game 3 that he pitched in the ALCS, he got roughed up. He's going to see what he can do here. Starting fresh as he makes a return to his old haunts in Houston. He pitched for the Astros back in the early 80s. And actually pitched for them in the playoffs in 1980. And then he pitched for him in the playoffs in 81. Pitched for him in 82 and then got traded to the Brewers midseason in 82. So he's making a return, so to speak, to Houston. And it's going to be Billy Hatcher to lead it off against Sutton. 5-5, that's a strikeout chance. 12 is too high. We go to Billy Hatcher. 1-6, it's a fly to right, 1 down. So Billy Hatcher is retired, 1 away. For second baseman Bill Doran. Sutton 5-1's a walk chance, and he will walk him. So Bill Doran drawing the 1-out walk. And now his attempt is a 6, -1 from Sutton makes it a 5. 7 will not cut it. So Denny Walling might have a hit and run chance if they want to go that route. Let's see, it was a 5 and that's a 7. So hit and run chart. Let's see here. K rate for Walling is a 5, so you add 3 to the hit and run. So it would fit in the hit and run because the roll was a 7, which was within 3 of the 5. So you could do a hit and run here if we chose. Although Walling does have a lot of power against righties, you eliminate a lot of that. But you know what? They're going to try the hit and run. They're going to do the hit and run anyway. Astros looking to move. They're going to do a hit and run. So first things first, Sutton will pitch to Walling. 5-5, that's a strikeout chance. Now on a hit and run, let's take a look here at the hit and run. You get a steal with a -2 stolen base rate. There is no effect on the strikeout rate of a hit and run. It stays the same. But he will not strike out because he's a 13. He's a 5 there, and that's a 13. So Walling will go ahead and swing. We get a 5-3, and that's a single to right field. Single to right field. Now in the hit and run, the BR rating gets a +2 boost to make him a 6. So he will automatically take third base. Runners are going to be at the corners, and it's a successful hit and run for Denny Walling as he singles to right field. And back come the Stros. Runners on the corners, only 1 out for Glenn Davis. The Angels now playing for double play depth. Walling cannot go anywhere, but there's a chance of a balk or a pickoff, so we will do the D20. And it's a 3, nothing going on there. So here's Sutton to Glenn Davis. 5-2, that's a blank. We go to Glenn Davis's card. 1-4. It's a fly to right, potential sacrifice fly. His sacrifice fly rating is a 2. That fails. But now Bill Doran gets a chance. He is a 4. The right fielder, George Hendrick, checks in with an arm of -1, so it makes him a 3. So a 1-3, Bill Doran will come in and score. He does. Sacrifice fly is successful, and we got a tie ball game at 1 on the sacrifice fly by Glenn Davis, and the hit and run helped produce that. There are now 2 outs with Walling at first base. And Kevin Bass, the batter. Strategy roll for Sutton, nothing happening. Sutton 1-4, potential wild pitch. It will be a wild pitch. Walling will go to second base on the wild pitch. He's got a wild pitch rating of 1-9. That's a 7, so obviously that fit. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Sutton 3-2, strikeout chance, got him. So Kevin Bass out on strikes to end the inning. But the Astros answer the run by California with a run of their own. And at the end of 1 complete from the Astrodome, we are tied at a run apiece. DeShaies is back out. And he'll be facing DeShaies, Boone, and Schofield here in the top of the second, tied at 1. DeShaies 5-5, strikeout chance. That is a 9, and he will get him. He's at 8, but the stadium adds 1, so DeShaies, because of the Astrodome strikeout rate, he will whiff. So 1 away. Brings up the catcher, Bob Boone. 3-1, strikeout chance. That's too high, so Boone will swing. 1-3, grounds to short, 2 down. So DeShaies, much better start to this inning. 2 up and 2 down for Dick Schofield, number 8 hitter. 5-3, he's not tired, so no single. Schofield 2-1 against the lefty. That's a single past second base. So Dick Schofield, a 2-out single. And if nothing else, it will clear the pitcher because Don Sutton's coming to bat. And he's using the 1969 California Angels pitcher hitting card because I don't have any pitcher hitting card for 1986, obviously, because they didn't have they had the DH. They didn't need it. First things first, though, Schofield has a chance to do something here on the 20. It's a 2. He could steal. It'd be a 1-17 because he's got a 16 there. I'm sorry, it'd be a 1-16. 16 there, -1 makes it a 15, but the +1 from Ashby makes it a 16. 1-16, he will go. And he's got caught stealing, so not smart there. Now they will have to lead off with Don Sutton next inning, so caught stealing as Ashby threw it down there, and Doran put on the tag. So nothing doing for the Angels. We go to the bottom of the second, still tied at 1. So maybe not the smartest move in the world to do that, but they thought get on base, get on in scoring position possibly. It's good odds to do that, and Sutton might trickle something through, but just didn't work out that way. So bottom of the second we go for Jose Cruz. 6-4 is a blank. We go to Jose Cruz. 1-5, and that's a ground ball to second, 1 away. I thought about doing a live stream of this, but I'm kind of relegated back to the man cave again, and also I feel more comfortable doing the recording. I just feel like it turns out better. I can pause the video when I want and just not be distracted. Not that you guys will be distractions, but you know what I mean. I can concentrate on the game and not have to worry about chat, and the video quality comes out better. It's just I think it just all around comes out better when I record stuff. It was fun to do live streams on Saturday morning, and next year, of course, I'll do that again. But right now, I'm kind of leaning more towards the recordings, so that's what I'm going with for this. Here's Sutton, just in case anybody was curious. 1-1, range play at the ballpark. We bring in the Astrodome for the first time. And not only is it an Astrodome check, but it's a range check at the Astrodome. 1-2, it's a ground ball to short, so we're checking the range of the shortstop, Mr. Dick Schofield. And his range at short is a 4. So 1 to 4, he will make the play. That simple, and he does. So Dick Schofield taking care of Alan Ashby, 1 away. Actually 2 away now, as Cruz had grounded to second to start the inning. Now we go to the number 8 hitter for the Astros, Craig Reynolds. 5-5, strikeout chance, 17 is too high. 6-5, fly to center. The inning is over. So at the end of 2, we are tied at 1 apiece from the Dome, where I'm hoping we get some close games and not these blowouts that we had in the payoff pitch series, and even the inside pitch series with the Mets. Some of those Astro-Met games got out of hand as well. So hoping to make these, hoping that I can't make them be close, but I'm hoping they are close. Just more fun that way, and I'm sure they're more fun to watch that way as well. Okay, top of the 3rd. And the pitcher, Don Sutton, is up. DeShaies, 6-1. That's the ballpark card, so we're not even going to go to Sutton's card. We're going to go to the ballpark card. So we won't even need that card. We're going straight to the Astrodome. I'll just leave it where it is. You can see it. We get a 3-5, and that is a ground ball to short. So Sutton grounds it to Reynolds for out number 1. We flip the order back over to Gary Pettis. Pettis walked, stole second, and scored his first trip. Exactly what a leadoff man's supposed to do. Get on base and score. 6-5, strikeout chance. Got him. You won't be doing it this time. So DeShaies says, not so fast, my friend. You're not going to do that again. And now since that first inning, DeShaies has settled in, and he is actually retired, with the exception of Schofield's single with 2 outs. Let's see, he's gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's retired 6 of the last 7 he's faced. Here's Joyner. Hope I didn't just jinx him by doing that. 1-5's a blank. Joyner, 4-2, fly to center. Another 1-2-3 inning. Actually, the first 1-2-3 inning for DeShaies, but almost had a 1-2-3 inning last inning. So he's definitely improved since the first inning, so maybe he's given Hal Lanier justification for starting him. We shall see. The Astro fans seem to be warming up to the possibilities that he started game 1. They're kind of liking that now. And in fact, DeShaies will lead off the bottom of the 3rd. He's a terrible hitter, 0-47 on the season. Did have 1 run batted in, but he's got a lot of Ks on his card. Not very many hits. In fact, the only hit, he's got 1 spot here. A 2-6 is a hit. 3-1 is a hit. 4-1 is a hit. So he's got 3 possible hits out of the 36. And a question mark 7 is another kind of half potential. Here's Sutton, 1-3. And against a left-handed hitting DeShaies, that's a walk chance. DeShaies actually walks at a 14. Stadium Tracks one makes him a 13, but that is a 13. So Don Sutton has just walked Jim DeShaies. And boy, talk about doing the wrong thing there. A leadoff walk to the pitcher, who's hitting 0-47 on the season. Could very well come back to bite him. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Here's Billy Hatcher. Hatcher flew to right his first chance. Infield looking to turn 2. 2-2 is a straight-up home run chance against the righty. Hatcher's a 6. That's a 5. Kaboom! Billy Hatcher. A 2-run home run, and it was preceded by the walk to the pitcher. So talk about adding insult to injury. Billy Hatcher says, take that, Don Sutton. And the Astros now lead it by the score of 3-1 as Billy Hatcher teed off on that Don Sutton would-be fastball and deposited it in the seats to give the Astros a 3-1 lead. Still nobody out. Here's Bill Doran. 1-5, hit by pitch. 19 is not going to be a hit by pitch. So we go to Doran. So Sutton pitching inside after that home run, kind of brushing Doran back a little bit. Doran, 6'5", says, take that. I'm going to single pass first. Brush me back all you want. So Doran has reached base twice. He walked and scored the first. Now he's singled, and he might be looking to try to get a jump for a steal. He's a 5 to get a jump. Can't get the jump, so Denny Walling, who had that nice hit and run play, hit and run single his first time up, will get the swing. Sutton 3-2, and that's a strikeout chance. Got him. So Walling, a big strikeout there for Sutton. Tried to stem the tide. One away for Glenn Davis. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Actually, no, it's a 5. Doran can run because he's a 6 -1, so they can do something here. 14, but Bob Boone's a -2 throwing arm, so that would drop him to a 12. And you got Glenn Davis up, so I think they're going to hold him there and not let him steal. They want to give Glenn Davis a chance to do something. Sutton's prone to the gopher ball. 5-6 is a blank. Go to Davis. 2-1, fly to center, 2 down. And that'll bring up Kevin Bass. So now perhaps if Doran can get the jump again, they might send him. He does not, though, so moot point. Sutton, 1-3. At switch hitter batting left, that's a walk chance. He walks at a 7. Stadium subtracts 1, makes it a 6. That is a 7, so no walk. Kevin Bass will have to earn it himself. 6-6, and he grounds to short to end the inning. But damage done. 2-run homer off the bat of leadoff man Billy Hatcher. And at the end of 3 complete from the Astrodome, it is Houston with a 3-1 lead over the Angels. And Jim DeShaies, appreciative of the run support. He will pitch with a 3-1 lead to start the 4th. It is Brian Downing who made the last out, so it actually will be Wally Joyner that will lead things off. Joyner. DeShaies 2-1 is a range play. We go to Joyner for the range play. 2-3, ground ball to first with the range of Glenn Davis. And as we saw earlier, Glenn Davis is a 4 for his range. He makes the play, he'll flip to first, so it's going to go 3-1 in the scorebook. 1 away. That'll bring up right fielder George Hendrick. Hendrick grounded to short his first trip, 0 for 1. DeShaies 6-4, straight up home run chance. A straight up home run chance. Hendrick is a 15, but that's a 19. So no home run for Hendrick on that one. 3-3, but it will be a single past second base for George Hendrick. So Hendrick with a 1-out single. That'll bring up Bobby Grich. Grich the batter. Hendrick, tempt of 2. Not going to go anywhere. DeShaies to Grich. 1-4, a walk chance, 11. He will walk him. He walks at a 12. Stadium takes away 1, makes him an 11, but that is an 11. So a single and now a walk, and back come the Angels. Now they have 2 on with 1 out for Doug DeShaies. Strategy roll. Nothing happening. DeShaies 2-3 is a hit by pitch chance. He's a 3 -2, so no hit by pitch. Go to DeShaies. 2-5, that's a fly to center. And Hendrick with the fly to center cannot move up. He would be a, well, actually he possibly can. He's a 2, but to go from center field, second to third on a fly to center, you lose 2, makes him a 0. But Hatcher is a +1 arm, so he does have a chance on a 1 to make it. And he does not. He has to hold. So 2 down. As Hendrick will stay in pat. Here's Bob Boone. Strategy roll again. Nothing happening. 3-5, and that is a strikeout chance, but that's a 19, so no strikeout there. Go to Boone. That's a 2-4, and that's a fly to left to end the inning. So Bob Boone can't get it done, and DeShaies will leave 2 California Angels on the base paths. And DeShaies, a nice 4 innings so far, making his manager look very, very smart for starting him. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 3-1, favor of Houston. Now Sutton is set to bat second next inning, so they might cap Sutton here at 4 innings. Especially if he struggles, because he's set to bat second next inning. So very well could be the last inning for Sutton. We'll see. Here's Cruz. 1-5, hit by pitch. 0 and a -4, so no hit by pitch. 6-3 is a ground ball to second, 1 away. Cruz retired for Alan Ashby. Sutton 2-4, strikeout chance, 8. Will get him. Ashby goes down, 2 down for the shortstop Craig Reynolds. 5-1's a walk chance. That's a 9. That's too high. Reynolds, Suadice. Reynolds will swing. 6-6 is a question mark 9. Goes to 11, but that's a 20, so it's just a fly to right. Hauled in by Hendrick, and the inning is over. So Sutton pitches a 1-2-3 4th inning. Now the question is, you hate to pinch hit for Sutton so early in a 3-1 game, but you do need offense. Got a pretty decent bullpen, but you don't want to wear him out in game 1. Sutton's a veteran, so I think they're going to stick with Sutton. Oops. Sutton's hitting, not pitching. So it'll be Schofield and then Sutton. Due up here in the top of the 5th of a 3-1 game. Schofield singled and was caught stealing his first chance. 3-3, strikeout, too high. Go to Schofield. 3-4, and that's a ground ball to third, 1 away. Denny Walling takes care of it. That'll bring up Sutton. DeShaies, 3-6 is the ballpark card. So once again, Sutton again for the second time is hitting off the ballpark card. So good thing we didn't pitch in for him, because it may not have made a difference. Ballpark, Suadice. Let's go to the ballpark card. The Astrodome, 5-3 is a pop to second, or pop to the catcher rather. So he pops it up to Ashby for out number 2. So that way was a wise move not to pinch hit for him, because the pinch hitter would have also popped to the catcher. Wouldn't have mattered as the ballpark car took over. Here is Pettis. It's walked and singled. 6-4, straight up home run chance against a lefty. It's only a 3, so no home run there. But Pettis will swing 4-3, and that's a pop to second. That's going to end the inning. So DeShaies cruising now all of a sudden. Not Jose cruising, but he's cruising nonetheless. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 3-1. Now, will Sutton do the job that's going to make Gene Mauch glad he left him in there? We'll see. Here's DeShaies. He walked DeShaies his first time up. 6-2 is a strikeout chance. This time he won't make that same mistake. He will get the strikeout, 1 away. And it's going to bring up Billy Hatcher. Hatcher hit the big 2-run homer in the 3rd that gave the Astros the lead. Sutton's got to be careful. 5-3, possible error. That's a 3-2, which is a question mark 8. Drive to center. Only goes to an 8. That's a 13, so it will be a fly to center, but we do have to check for a possible error. Center fielder Devon White, Gary Pettis, his error rating is a 4. It has to be an odd number to be an error on a fly ball, so this has to be a 1 or a 3. Anything else, and Pettis makes the catch. And he does. So Pettis hauls it in, no problem. 2 down. 2 away for Bill Doran. Doran is walked and singled. Sutton, 6-6 is a walk plus, and he'll walk Doran again. So 2-out walk to Doran. He's reached base all 3 times. And he might be looking to get a chance to run again. He's a 6. -1 from Sutton makes him a jump of a 5. But nothing happening. So here's Denny Walling. Sutton to Walling, 6-1. Possible error on a ground ball. Go to Walling. 4-4. That is a single to short. So now, let's see. The shortstop error rating, Schofield, is a 6. That's a 9. So there is no error there. It's simply going to be a single to short. Simply a single to short. Since there was no error to check to worry about. Not a failed error check or anything like that. So it's a single to short. To get from first to third, you need a 5 or better. Doran's a 4, but with 2 outs, it becomes a 5. So Doran actually makes it to third base. And Denny Walling will reach again with his second single of the ball game. Runners are at the corners for Glenn Davis. And boy, Sutton with his propensity to give up home runs, got to be careful. He's got a bunch of home runs there on his card. So the Angels are going to make the move. Gene Mauch says, I'm making the move. And they will go to the bullpen. And they're going to bring on Doug Corbett, a right-hander. So Doug Corbett coming in a big spot. They don't want this thing to get away from them if they can help it. Sutton's going to go 4 2/3. So far, he's given up 3 runs, but the 2 on base are his responsibility. No strategy roll needed here, and there's no pickoff chance here. We're not going to worry about Doran trying to steal home, so we're not going to worry about a strategy roll. Corbett's just going to pitch to Glenn Davis. 3-3, that is a strikeout chance. 14 is too high. Go to Glenn Davis. 6-6, it's a star 3, which is a ground ball to third. And that's going to end the inning. So, looks like the bullpen move paid off for Gene Mauch and the Angels. They keep the Astros at bay, keep them within striking distance. And we go to the 6th. It's just a 3-1 game, so it's certainly anybody's ball game. And after all those blowouts in the ALCS, it's refreshing to see a little bit closer game and a pitching duel. And DeShaies now, got to be careful with him. He can face 23 batters. He has faced 19 right now. So this could probably be his last inning. In fact, he is scheduled to bat 5th next inning, so very well could be. But if they can get 6 innings out of DeShaies, they'll be ecstatic. So here is Brian Downing. He's walked and flew to center. DeShaies 3-1 strikeout chance, got him. So DeShaies putting on a show here and making a genius of his manager. Here's, actually should be Joyner, not Hendrick. My bad. Joyner is the batter. 1-5 is a blank. We go to Joyner's card. Hendrick's on deck. Joyner 3-2. That's a ground ball to first. 2 down. Hendrick a little bit over-eager. Now he gets to go out there and hit. DeShaies 4-6. Possible error on a throw. 2-4 is a question mark 8. There won't be a throw to worry about, but we're going to check and see if he can get the hit. It goes to 18. That is an 18. It's a triple for George Hendrick. He continues his hot hitting. A 2-out triple for George Hendrick. And now what do you do if you are the Astros, because we're getting to crunch time. Bobby Grich is your batter. He has faced 22 batters, so he's not tired yet. He'll be tired after this at bat by Bobby Grich. But do you bring in the right-hander to face Bobby Grich, or do you let DeShaies keep going? Boy, tough call, but I think you're going to, if you're the Astros, you are ecstatic to get what you got out of DeShaies, and Hal Lanier. He is making the call to the bullpen. So DeShaies' night is done, and they will turn it over to right-hander Senor Smoke, Aurelio Lopez. So Lopez is on. DeShaies is going to go 5 2/3, give up 1 run, but the runner on third is his responsibility. And now Aurelio Lopez has to deal with Bobby Grich. Strategy roll because there are pickoff chances, but no pickoff going on. Lopez to Grich. 4-5, and that is a strikeout plus super strikeout, whatever you want to call it, and he got him, and that's going to end the inning. So again, probably a smart move to bring in the reliever when you did to thwart the rally. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 3-1 ball game. And due up for the Astros, it will be Kevin Bass, Jose Cruz, and Alan Ashby against Corbett. 2-4 is a range play. 4-2, and that is a star 1, which is a ground ball to second. So ground ball to Grich. And Bobby Grich's range is only a 2. Could be problematic. And it is. Kevin Bass will reach on a base hit that on the AstroTurf sneaks by Grich for a leadoff single. That's the advantage the Astros get on this AstroTurf. A lot of the Angel players are rather old, like DeShaies and Grich, and just don't have the range. And on grass, maybe he gets to that. We'll never know. Here's Jose Cruz. Strategy roll. Nothing happening. Infield halfway for the double play. Corbett, 5-4. Against a lefty, that's a blank. Go to Cruz. Oh, Suadice. Can't go to Cruz yet. We got to redo it. 6-5. That's a star 4, which is a ground ball to short. Possible double play. He's a 2. Corbett adds 1, makes it a 3. They're halfway, makes it a 4. The pivot at second base, Grich, is a 0. So it's a 1-4 for a double play. And they can't turn it, but they will get the force. So they force Bass at second base. It's going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice. But they would have loved the double play if they could have gotten it. But just couldn't quite do it. Bass, or Cruz rather, just did beat it out. That'll bring up Alan Ashby. Grounded to short and struck out. He's 0 for 2. Strategy roll. Not going to be a strategy roll because attempts a 1, but -1 makes it no attempt. Go straight to Corbett. 5-2 against a lefty. That's a blank. Ashby, 6-6 is a fly to left. 2 down. So 2 down, and here comes Craig Reynolds. 6-2, ballpark car going back to the Astrodome. 5-6, that's just a fly to left, and the inning's over. So Corbett does his job the way they needed him to. And we go to the top of the 7th. Score still 3-1. And Aurelio Lopez, who only faced 1 batter, he can face 7, so he's definitely ready to come back out and try his luck again. Corbett may or may not be done. He's set to bat 4th this inning, so if his spot comes up, obviously they will pinch hit for him. And in fact, activity is in the Angel bullpen already. They do have lefty Chuck Finley and righty Vern Rule both loosening in the pen in case they need to be called upon. Right now it's Doug DeShaies against Senor Smoke to start the top of the 7th. 6-2 is possible error. Go to DeShaies. 4-6. That's a ground ball to first. We're checking the error rating of Glenn Davis. Glenn Davis's error rating He is a 2, so very good defender. 17, no problem. He will make the play and flip to Lopez. 3-1 ground out. 1 down for the catcher, Bob Boone. So Booney stepping to the plate, and Boone is 0 for 2. He's grounded to short and flied out to left. Lopez, 5-3. It's a ball 1. 2-6 is a potential walk. 17 is way too high. Go to Boone. 4-2. That's a single pass third, so base hit for Bob Boone. And now picking up a bat in the Angel on deck circle with Schofield coming up is Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. He is looming on the horizon to come in, and he would hit for Corbett. But right now it's Schofield who starts it off with 1 out. Strategy roll for a pickoff chance. There's no 20, so no pickoff. Lopez to Schofield, infield halfway. Looking to turn 2. 6-4 against a right-hander. That's a blank. We go to Schofield. 6-4 again. It's a single pass short. Bob Boone will have to stop at second because he doesn't run all that well. But back-to-back singles, and now all of a sudden here comes Reggie. He has now been announced as the pinch hitter. So Reggie Jackson is going to get the call to pinch hit in a huge spot. And Senor Smoke has to settle in. Strategy roll. Nothing happening. So here's Reggie. Lopez, 6-6 is a hit by pitch, but won't be hit by pitch, so we go to Reggie. 6-4, that's a star 2, which is a fly to center. 2 down. Now Boone, to get from second to third, you lose 2, makes him a 0, but then you get the +1 arm from Hatchers, but he cannot go anywhere. So Reggie Jackson fails in the pinch, but the Angels figured it was worth a gamble. And now here's Gary Pettis. 2 on and 2 outs. Lopez, strategy roll, nothing happening. 2-6, potential walk. That's a 19. That's too high. Go to Pettis. 1-3 is a star 5. That's a ground ball to short, and the inning is over as Reynolds goes the short way for the fielder's choice, flipping to Doran to retire Schofield and end the inning. So Senor Smoke struggled a little bit, but ends up doing the job and keeps the Astros with a 2-run lead at 3-1. And that'll be it for Senor Smoke. He did his job. We go to the bottom of the 7th. We need a new pitcher for the Angels. And let's see, with all these right-handers coming up, actually we got right switch and left, so it's actually going to be Chuck Finley, the lefty, that's going to be coming on for the Angels. He will be on to face the top of the order for the Astros. Actually, to check that, the pitcher spot is due up, so we'll get a pinch hitter for Houston. So a lot of wheels turning here. Jim Pankovitz, a right-hander, is going to pinch hit against Finley. So let's get all these into place. There is, oh, Tabby just jumped up here. Let me get Tabby out of the way. No, Tabby, no, you don't get up here. I didn't think she would do it, but she did it. I did not think she would do that, but she did mess up everything a little bit. Let me fix all this stuff. Yeah, she was curious what I was doing. I don't know, but see if we can fix all this. What I was about to say is that's a typo on the Pankovitz card. His name it's an S here, not a Z, so that's just a typo, but not anything I'm going to be worried about per se. I know who he is, Jim Pankovitz. In fact, I should know who he is because he's from Richmond, so local kid, local for me. So Finley is on. Corbett went 1 1/3 innings and kept the Angels or kept the Astros off the scoreboard, keeping the Angels in the game. We go to the bottom of the 7th, and of course, bottom of the 7th means 7th inning stretch. All right. 7th inning stretch is in the books, and we do have a nice, tight, clean game, 3-1. Difference in the game: 2-run homer from Billy Hatcher back in the 3rd, and that score has held up since. So Jim Pankovitz will pinch hit against the left-hander Chuck Finley, 3rd pitcher used by the Astros. Sutton went 4 2/3. Corbett went an inning and a third, and now Finley is in. He can face up to 8 batters. Finley to Pankovitz, 2-1, double question mark against a right-hander. 1-12 is an automatic out. That's a 1. It will be an automatic out. He will get Pankovitz on a ground ball to second, 1 away. So Pankovitz retired, failed pinch hit. He grounds it to Grich, 1 down. Now we flip the order over to Billy Hatcher. He is the difference in the game. His 2-run homer back in the 3rd is the difference in the game. Finley, 1-2 against a right-hander. That's a strikeout chance. 11 is too high, though. So we go to Hatcher. 6-6, that's a single to center field, so Hatcher does it again. He was prominent in the NLCS, and he's doing it again. His second hit. And that'll bring up Bill Doran. Hatcher, -1 from Finley, so it drops his attempt to an 8. But it is an 8, so Hatcher's going to go. 15, but he may or may not go. Let's see. 15 -1 from Finley is a 14. -2 from Boone is a 12. A 1-12, if they want to send him. You know what? They're going to send him. They're going to take the chance. They're playing with house money. And they do, and he makes it. Billy Hatcher pays off with the steal. Bob Boone, a little frustrated. Not used to having people steal on him very often, but Hatcher successful in that escapade. Strategy roll again, nothing happening. Here's Doran, so he's in scoring position. That'd be a big insurance run if they can get it. Finley, 4-3, and that is a home run question mark to a right-hander. It's a 1, that fails, so no home run chance there. But Doran will swing. 2-1's a star 5. That'll be a ground ball to 3rd. And let's see if Hatcher can make it there. He does not. So Hatcher will stop at second. Will stay at second on the ground ball to DeShaies for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Denny Walling. But with a lefty on the mound, well, they're going to leave Walling in there because he's a better defender. They got the lead, so they're not going to bring in Phil Garner. They're going to stick with Walling. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Well, they could steal 3rd, but what's the point? So here's Finley, 5-5, strikeout chance. That's a 6, and he got him. It's a 5 plus the 1 from the stadium struck him out. So Denny Walling out on strikes, and the inning is over. So Chuck Finley, a little shaky there, but got through it. And we go to the 8th. It's still 3-1, favor of the Astros. And Houston will need a new pitcher since they pinch hit for Senor Smoke. So let's see who that pinch hitter is going to be, or the new pitcher is going to be, rather. The Angels have Downing, Joyner, and Hendrick, 2 righties and a lefty. So the right-hander is coming in for the Astros. It will be Charlie Kerfeld. Right-hander Charlie Kerfeld will be coming on. And if my memory on Kerfeld serves me right, Kerfeld was a little bit on the rotund side. but he was a good pitcher in '86. 11-2, 7 saves, and a 2.59 ERA. So it doesn't matter what his size is or girth is. It doesn't matter. He got the job done. So here's Brian Downing. It'll be Downing, Joyner, and Hendrick due up here in the top of the 8th for the Angels. Whoops, Suet Ice again. Boy, I got to be more careful about that. 1-3, and that's a ball one on a wild pitch. Try again. 2-1 is a walk chance, and he will walk him. So Brian Downing draws a leadoff walk, and boy, that's cardinal sin for a reliever to come in and give a leadoff walk. That's just, you're asking for trouble. Attempt of 2 for Downing, but nothing happening, and Joyner's certainly not going to be looking to bunt. So here's Joyner. He's 0 for 3. Hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield yet. Here's Kerfeld. 1-3 is a wild pitch. 17 is just going to be just out of range, so it's ball one. It is blocked by Ashby. Kerfeld, 5-4, possible error on a ground ball. Go to Joyner. 2-4, and that's a ground ball to first, but that's an 18. There's not going to be an error there. Davis only has a 2 error rating. That's an 18. So now we're checking for double play. He's a 2. Nothing there. You don't get anything for the infield being halfway because it went to first. Shortstop pivot of Reynolds is a 0. So it's a 1-2 for a double play. And they can't get it. It will be a fielder's choice. As Downing is retired, Joyner will reach on the fielder's choice. And it will go. I believe it went to, did I say it went to short? I'm pretty sure I said it went to short. So that's 6-4. Not that it matters. I'm not keeping defensive stats, so it really didn't matter. Here's George Hendrick. Now he's more effective against lefties, but still, the way he's hitting, you're not going to pinch hit for George Hendrick. I mean, he's 2 for 3, a single and a triple. Strategy roll for Joyner, 2 or better, 2 or less. Nope, not going to happen. Kerfeld to Hendrick. 4-5. That's a strikeout chance. 18, too high. Go to Hendrick. 2-4. And that's a question mark 8. But against a right-hander, it only goes to 8. That's a 9. Boy, against a lefty, that would have been a base hit. But against a righty, it's just going to be a fly to center. So that's the difference in those Hendrick facing the lefty versus facing a righty. But you had to take the chance. You couldn't pinch hit for him, I didn't think. I didn't think it would make sense to do that the way he'd been hitting. Plus, who are you going to pinch hit? You going to use Rupert Jones or somebody? I mean, there wasn't a whole lot better they had. So here's Bobby Grich. Nothing on the Havoc. Kerfeld, 2-4. Ballpark card. We're going to the Astrodome for Bobby Grich. 4-3, and that's a fly to center to end the inning. So Kerfeld gets the job done. And that's going to set things up for Dave Smith in the 9th. As the Astros have got it the way they want it. You go to the bottom of the 8th, though. Angels have to negotiate the bottom of the 8th without making the score any worse than what it is. And let's see what they want to do with that. Finley is going to still pitch, I assume. Although Glenn Davis is due up. It's Davis, Bass, and Cruz, righty switch lefty. Davis is good either way you go. A little bit better against lefties, but not that much. So let's see. Finley face 4 batters. He can face 8. Do you stick with Finley? Yeah, I think you're going to stick with Finley. So Finley's going to stay out there for the bottom of the 8th. And he'll be facing Glenn Davis. 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. 6-2, that's a strikeout plus to a righty, and he got him. So at least initially, that's a smart move to leave Finley out there. 1 down for the switch hitter Kevin Bass, so we'll turn around about right-handed. Although right-handed is kind of more his power side. Finley 4-3, and what do you know? We got a home run question mark, but it's only a 1, so no home run chance there for Kevin Bass. 1-1, but he will single, so Kevin Bass singles to right field. He's now 2 for 4. And that brings up Jose Cruz, lefty on lefty. You're not going to pinch hit for Cruz. He's a pretty good defender, so you're not going to leave him out there. You're not going to take him away. Plus, he's a good hitter. So now Finley can face 8 batters. This will be batter number 7, so he's okay on that. Strategy roll. Nothing happening. Finley to Cruz, lefty on lefty. 5-6, strikeout chance, 13, too high. Go to Cruz. 3-3, ground ball to short, possible double play. He's a 2, but he's a -2 double play chance. That's a 0. And then they're halfway, makes it a 1. The pivot at second, Grich, is a 0. So this has to be a 1 for a double play. It is not, but they will get the force on Kevin Bass. So it will go as a 6-4 fielder's choice. 2 down. Cruz the new runner. Ashby the batter. This is batter number 8. So after this batter, he will be tired, but they're going to leave him out there. Cruz has no attempt, and so we're not going to do a strategy roll. Finley, 2-2. Straight up home run chance against the switch hitter batting right-handed. He's a 7. That is a 7. Kaboom! Alan Ashby, a 2-run home run, and maybe they left Finley in one batter too many. But there it is, a 2-run bomb by Alan Ashby. 2-out, 2-run homer. And the Angels getting stung by the two-run homer. Did it in the 3rd. They do it again here in the 8th. This one by Alan Ashby. And the Astros now lead it 5-1. And actually Dave Smith has sat down because it's no longer a save situation. So he has sat down. And that's it for Finley. He is now tired, and he's now out of the game. And they will bring on Terry Forster, another lefty, to pinch hit. Craig Reynolds is a scheduled hitter, but he will be called back. And they will bring on Dickie Thon, who's also a better defender. So it helps Houston out on both ends. So Dickie Thon will pinch hit and stay in the game to play short for Reynolds. And Terry Forster is your pitcher. So Finley did well until that last at bat by Ashby. And kind of blows the game open now at 5-1 here in the 8th. Thon, the pinch hitter, and will stay in the game and play short against Forster. 4-6 possible error. Thon, 3-1 is a ground ball to 3rd, but that's a 16. DeShaies' error rating is only a 7. So he will make the play, and Forster does his 3rd of an inning to close out the 8th. So we go to the 9th. 5-1 favor of Houston. Thon now the new shortstop. Now the question is, who's going to pitch for Houston? Kerfeld faced 4 batters. He can only face 6, so they're going to pull him. And they're going to bring in Larry Anderson because it's not a save situation. Actually, you know what? They're going to bring in Dave Smith anyway, I think. Because they don't want to fool around. And they haven't. Smith hasn't pitched in a while, so they want to give him some work. So even though it's not a safe situation, they will bring in Dave Smith. And he'll be facing DeShaies, Boone, and Schofield. Those are the scheduled hitters. But we might see some pinch hitting because they got lots of lefties on the bench. DeShaies will hit for himself, but for Bob Boone, they're going to bring in left-handed hitting Rupert Jones. And for Schofield, they will go to left-handed hitting Jack Howell. So it's going to be DeShaies, Jones, and Howell. So Jones will pinch hit for Boone, and Howell will pinch hit for Schofield. first things first, it's DeShaies against Dave Smith. 5-1, top of the ninth. 3-2, and that's a range play. We go to DeShaies. 3-2 again. That's a star 3, which is a ground ball to second. Checking the range of Bill Doran. Bill Doran's range is only a 2, so this could sneak by. It does not. He makes the play. Wow, nice play by Bill Doran. Robs DeShaies of a potential base hit. 1 down for Rupert Jones, pinch hitting for Bob Boone. And then Jack Howell is on deck circle, and he will pinch hit for Schofield. Smith, 1-4. That's a walk plus, so Rupert Jones will draw the pinch hit walk. And as RJL would say, what did you think there will be a 1-2-3 inning, an inside pitch? Not likely. 1-2-3 final inning, I should say. So now Jack Howell is up. Strategy rolls are off because of the score. Dave Smith, 3-2. That's another range play. Howell, 3-1. Star 2 is a fly to center. Checking the range of Billy Hatcher. His range is a 3. So 1-3, he'll make the play. He does not. Is it a single or a double? It's a single for Jack Howell. Pinch hit single. Now let's see if Rupert Jones can move up. He's a 4 to get from first to third on a single to center. First to third, you lose 1, makes him a 3, but Hatcher is a +1 arm, which will make him a 4, but you're down 5-1. Don't know that moving up would do a whole lot of good, but unless you roll a 6, you're not really in trouble. So it'd be a 1-4, and he does make it. So Rupert Jones will make it to third on the play. So pinch hit single for Jack Howell as the Angels have something cooking here against Dave Smith. Runners on the corners. And this will be the 4th batter Dave Smith's going to face, so he'll be tired after this. And he's going to be another pinch hitter for the Angels because we're at the pitcher spot. And the pinch hitter is going to be well, I guess go to the best guy you have, even though he's right-handed. Even though he's right-handed, Rick Burleson is the best you have, but do you play the percentages and go with a lefty? Hard to say because you could bring in Will Fong, you could bring in Devon White. But I think they're going to go to the veteran Rick Burleson. They're going to count on his guile to try to get it done. So Rick Burleson will pinch hit for the pitcher. He will pinch hit for Forster. So Burleson is on. This is the 4th batter for Smith to face. He will be tired after this at bat. So the bullpen is working for the Astros. They do have double barrel action. Larry Anderson, a righty, and Mr. Jeff Calhoun, a left-hander. So they're both loosening the Astro bullpen. Strategy rolls are still off. Infield halfway for a double play. Smith, 6-1, strikeout plus to a righty, and he got him. Boy, maybe should have went to the lefty, but that's, you take your chances. And they were going for the guy with the best average. 284 is the best average, whereas Devon White, his average is only 235. So I felt like you had to go to the best average, even though we got burned on the left-right split. Just how it works out. Here's Gary Pettis. Final opportunity for the Angels, and Smith is now tired. So let's see if he can get the final out to finish off the game. Against Pettis. That's another Suet Ice. Smith, 1-4, walk plus, and that will load the bases. So the bases are now loaded here in the top of the ninth as Dave Smith struggles mightily. Brian Downing, the batter, and that's going to be it for Dave Smith. They cannot go with him any longer. They don't want to take a chance of getting one of those tired rolls and running into real trouble. So they're going to bring in Larry Anderson as your pinch hitter to face Brian Downing. So Brian Downing will be facing Larry Anderson looking for the save. Anderson did have one save on the season, 2-1 with a 1 save and a 3.03 ERA. But he is in there to try to get through this inning or get this last out and get this game over with. It's 5-1, but the tying run is at the plate. And again, inside pitch in the 9th inning, you never know what's going to happen. Game is never over, or virtually never over. So now let's see what Larry Anderson can do, as 9th inning magic has creeped into this game for sure for the Angels as they try to get it done. Strategy rolls are still off. Anderson to Downing, 2-6 walk chance. He has just walked in a run. So Rupert Jones will come in to score. Howell will go to third. Pettis to second. Downing will score on the walk by Larry Anderson. Bases loaded walk. Give him an RBI. Everybody moves up. It is now a 5-2 game with 2 outs in the 9th. And Wally Joyner, the lefty, is the go-ahead run of all things. Now, do you bring in Calhoun to face Joyner? Yes, that's the tough decision you got to make. They're going to do it. They're going to take Larry Anderson out and bring in Calhoun. He had no saves on the season, but he's your only lefty, other than Bob Nepper. But I don't think you bring a starting pitcher into this situation with the bases loaded like that. They're going to go to a true reliever, and it's Mr. Calhoun. And this is the only batter he's going to face right here. If he doesn't get Joyner, he will not face anybody else. Danny Darwin's already loosening the pen, getting ready for George Hendrick if it gets to that. But right now, Joyner the batter against Calhoun. 5-4, and that is a strikeout chance. 7. Got him. He strikes out a 7 plus the 1s and 8. Calhoun comes in and strikes out Wally Joyner to end the ball game. Ball game is over. The Angels leave them loaded, and the Astros win it by the score of 5-2. And a wild one here in Game 1. If all the other games are like that, I'll be very happy, as that went down to the wire. Be right back with the totals and to set you up for game number 2. Okay, let's go over the totals for the game. For the Astros, 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 6 left. For California, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 10 left on base. That was their trouble. And 3 of those 10 were in the 9th inning. So missed opportunities along the way for California kind of caught them and caught up with them, and they couldn't overcome them. Winning pitcher was Jim DeShaies, and losing pitcher was Don Sutton. Game 2 is now set up. It is going to be Kirk McCaskill for the Angels against Mike Scott. So the Astros gambled using DeShaies in Game 1, and it pays off as they have a 1-0 lead in the series, and they've got Mr. Mike Scott coming up to pitch Game 2 on complete full rest. And so they're looking to take a 2-0 advantage back to California. But we shall see. Inside pitch, anything can happen. Your lead is never safe. As you saw, the Astros had to really sweat it out despite being ahead 5-1. And I guess you bring in a closer like Dave Smith when it's not a safe situation. Maybe they don't bear down as much, and they can run into trouble. And lo and behold, little Jeff Calhoun, their only lefty traditional reliever, had to come in and get out Wally Joyner, strike out Wally Joyner to end the game. So 5-2 ball game, very enjoyable ball game. Inside pitch, a very enjoyable game itself. Really do enjoy the mechanics of it and just the funness of it, as RJL would say. You can debate how realistic it is or how accurate it is. That's not up for me to decide. That's up for you to decide. I think it's pretty accurate. When I played my 2019 Washington Nationals replay, those stats came out very realistic, so no complaints there. So until next time, it'll be Game 2 from the Astrodome. Again, Mike Scott against Kirk McCaskill. And Angels don't want to go back to California down 2-0. That's for sure. They want to get that split, but they've got their work cut out for them against Mr. Mike Scott. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. I will see you all down the road.